everybody, we're back.
Hey, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Dr. Brenda Hasselbrock here with the Wellness Way in Memorial, along with
Dr. Brianna Hyde.
Dr. Brianna Hyde. Today we're talking about eczema and psoriasis and skin conditions in general.
Yeah, it's been super prevalent, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I know I've suffered with it myself in the past, so I figured it'd be a good thing to kind of talk to you guys about, give you another way to look at how to deal with it.
Right, because traditional way of treating it is hydrocortisone, steroids, creams, things like that. So they'll give you ointments to put on your skin, which does help reduce the itching and the inflammation, at least temporarily. And it comes right back because it never actually got to why the skin was itchy and irritated in the first place. So, so they come in different strengths depending on how mild or how severe it is.
I've tried every strength. I used to go through those tubes like crazy, and it helped for a little bit just to stop itching, so you don't make yourself bleed anymore. But
well, in some of those conditions, when they get really bad, you don't even have to scratch it; it just breaks and bleeds anyway. So I mean, it can be a really serious situation. Not to mention uncomfortable and kind of embarrassing. So, and then some of the other traditional ways are like, oh, just avoid certain foods. So don't eat citrus and don't eat. Now, the Wellness Way, we say dairy, wheat, soy. Even if you have good skin, you shouldn't be eating those things, and keep corn to a minimum. So, but then how do you know which foods to eliminate beyond that? I mean, it's just kind of
guessing game.
It's a guessing
it is, and it's super frustrating because a lot of you guys know I've been there before, being in like this fancy like GI doctor's office, and they just give you like a pamphlet or a piece of paper on like IBS, or like, oh, try this kind of food diet, or just do an elimination diet and just avoid things. And it's frustrating because it's with delayed sensitivities and delayed allergies, you can't tell that why you're sick now is because that potato you ate 2 weeks ago.
But I'm sure you're the only one that ever had that experience. Leaving a professional GI doctor's appointment. But so it's very frustrating. You're looking for answers. You go to the doctor, they give you a pamphlet and say, hey, just try and avoid some foods. And that doesn't work out so well. I want to just talk about foods in just a second, but before we do that, just negative side effects that come along with these medications. So, I mean, things like insomnia, mood change. Interesting, because you're trying to get it to clear your skin, but it can cause acne, it can cause dry skin, it can cause thinning of the skin, it can cause bruising, dizziness, nausea. Some of the more severe symptoms or negative side effects are glaucoma. It can actually affect your eyes, convulsions. It can actually lead to osteoporosis, so muscle weakness, and still it never addressed what caused the problem to begin with. So, and you've had some experiences yourself where you had some skin issues, you're looking for answers, you tried avoiding the foods and eliminating foods, and how'd that work out?
It did not help, and it was so bad at one point I tried to sign up for a test run for a new drug for eczema, and they said I didn't have it bad enough to try this. I'm like, man, I can't even get help with the other drugs anyways. So
here, go read your pamphlet.
Yeah.
So for the Wellness Way, we look at things a little bit differently, and we have a little bit of a different approach, and that's what we want to talk about today. Because basically, your skin is a reflection of what's going on inside, so it's kind of a mirror of what's going on inside. So putting something on topically, how's that ever going to work for you? It's not. It'll give you some temporary relief at best, and then that's it. Yeah. So let's talk about
your intestines. So we know everyone has pretty much heard of leaky gut by now. Not everybody even knows what it means, though. So we kind of want to talk about how this could be a new approach to skincare and dealing with those types of issues. So we have, this is our gut, or our stomach. So we have one cell layer thick. I think it's like a whole bunch of different cell layers between the stomach and your.
Well, because your skin, you have multiple layers, but in your gut, there's one single layer. So it's very important that we take care of it, because if it gets damaged, it can cause a lot of problems.
So here's our cells, and then so here's the inside of our stomach. And then down here, this is our blood vessels that come through. And so our happy little red blood cells are just minding their own business. So we always want to talk about these cells with their gap junctions. So we want them to be very, very close to each other. Like here, that there's no cell wall between them. Right here, there's a connection. No connection here, broken here, and we have them nice and tight, like this one and like this one.
Yeah. I like to say that your GI tract is like a tube from your mouth, your esophagus, your stomach, your small intestines, large intestines, off the bottom. So it's a tube from top to bottom. One layer is thick, so we've only got one layer of protection between the inside and the outside. And I don't know if you can see this, but it should be all tightly gapped together. and sometimes there's some gaps that get in there. You see these little spaces that come in here, and that's when we get in trouble, because then what happens?
Things fall through.
Things that aren't supposed to.
So in our happy little picture, these little greenish blue blobs, that's food particles. I know, I'm like Picasso. And then we have some pathogens out here and some toxins that are different shapes. So if we're constantly being bombarded with things that are trying to irritate it and get through the other system to actually get into our body and our blood system that way. So when these cells get continually damaged, then they start to change their shape. It eats up part of the cell walls, and they start to swell up, and then you have spaces in between them where things can fall through.
Things can fall through like food particles and food proteins. So this little blood vessel down here, you were never ever designed to have food particles in your blood vessels. So when we start seeing food show up in there, the blood goes, well, hang on a second, you don't belong here, and it goes on attack mode.
Yeah.
So, and it starts trying to destroy those because it's a foreign invader. So it's going on attack mode. Now we get all this inflammation in here. Mm-hmm. And every time that food comes through and drops in, it's in inflammation again. So they're kind of heading down the right path with, hey, avoid some foods. Yeah. They just don't tell you which ones. Yeah. Or they give you a list, but no two people are the same. So,
right.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing that we're learning about this now, because we're eliciting an immune response, but we want to know what is the triggers, what's causing all this inflammation and the irritation that's making your body go on attack mode here, because it's not supposed to.
So how can you find some of the triggers, Dr. Hyde?
Food allergy tests. that's one of the main ones. It was my favorite one that I've done so far. I had 32 things on my food allergy list, and a lot of it were things that I was substituting for something else. And
right.
It's like,
so you had some food allergies that you suspected, so giving you a bad reaction, so you thought, hey, I'm gonna quit eating these and I'm gonna substitute these other ones in place. But then the other ones you were substituting in place
were still irritating my body.
We're on the list too. So I just want to say hi, Sandy, thanks for joining us today.
Hey.
Yeah, so now then you get your food allergy, you know, oh, no wonder it didn't work when I avoided these, they were still on my list. So yeah, so food allergies. Anything else I can
And then, so there's some good things that you can do now as we're trying to figure out what's going on to kind of calm down that system. Mm-hmm. There's two things that we usually tell people to start is apple cider vinegar and aloe vera juice.
Right.
So apple cider vinegar is really going to be good for helping start down this digestion process here. And it's also going to help with the bacteria breakdown and decrease some of the inflammation you have going on, and just help balance the pH in your stomach before it even gets through the rest of the intestines.
Right. And then aloe vera juice, we're all familiar with aloe for sunburns, especially down here in the south, right? So you get out in the sun, it can be very strong. And we know a lot of us have aloe vera plants in our yard or in our home. We just break a piece off, right? Yeah, I do too. And so just put it on your skin, because we know it's very, very soothing when you have a burn or when you have inflammation. So we don't use the gel or the plant in our stomach, sort of. But we use the aloe vera juice because it's easier to get down. It has that very soothing, calming effect on the GI tract, just like it does on the skin when there's a sunburn.
And the aloe vera juice, it actually also helps increase collagen and what was the other? Elastin. So that's going to actually help bring these tight junctions back together and help seal up some of those gaps that we have in the first place. And we did a whole other video on aloe vera juice you guys can look at from, I think, 2 weeks ago. A couple weeks ago we did that, so you check that one out as well.
And then lastly, is probiotics. Just giving your body enough of the good bacteria, the good flora that you need to keep it in balance. So we have a lot of different bacteria and yeast and things in our gut. So, and it's normal, it's supposed to be there, but we have to keep enough of the good ones in so the bad ones don't start climbing up and even turning into an infection. So they also, besides that, they're also important for breaking down fibers, which helps you rebuild the lining. And so they serve a very important function.
Yeah, so those are some good things you can start off with: apple cider vinegar, aloe vera juice, get your food allergies tested, find out about the probiotics. We also have a stool test that can tell you, do you have too much good bacteria, too little of it, what kind of infection rate you got going on.
Exactly. So last thing, maybe it's the last thing.
Next week on the 7th.
Okay, yes. So, okay, which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's do that. How's it going? Since we're on the topic of inflammation talk.
Okay.
Yeah, so next Tuesday here in the office, May 7th at 5:30, we're having another inflammation talk. So if you're kind of curious about this whole inflammation thing and how it's affecting your body, or you know somebody who has a bunch of issues going on, we talked about what inflammation is, how it's affecting you, and how it can lead to all these other diseases that people don't realize are such a strong correlation.
Especially if you're having any skin issues, eczema, psoriasis, or any stomach upsetting like that. Good information specifically for that, not only for that. And then we'll post that in the link below. So feel free to join us and bring a friend with you. And we are heading out of town Thursday afternoon.
Going to Tennessee.
Going to Tennessee. We'll learn a little line dance so we can do some dancing with our friends at the Wellness Way training. And very much looking forward to it. So if you want to get in and get adjusted, you have to be here by, 10? On Thursday. Yeah, we're leaving out of here at 10:30 on Thursday. So don't come squeaking the door at 10:15 because you'll see our brake lights pulling out of the parking lot. So get in here this afternoon, all day tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll be here Thursday morning, and then we're off to go do some training and just have some camaraderie with the other Wellness Way offices around the United States, which I think they're up to about 50 right now. And so we're going to just go and get stronger so we can come back and take better care of you.
Yeah, so if you guys have any other questions, or if there's any topic that you would like us to kind of explain or give a little information about, then make it in the comment section, like and share our videos if you want to see more of us.
Yes.
And
comment, like, and share.
Yes, and then I don't know if I ended up telling you guys, but after I took out all my food allergies, my skin's nice and clear, and I have no more eczema.
Beautiful skin, beautiful skin. You can have it too. So join us. Thanks for joining us today. Comment, like, and share, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Bye, guys. Bye.